Şimdi binanın tasarım ve inşaat aşamasında tesis yönetiminin önemi başlıklı konuşmasını sunmak üzere TRFMA Tesis Yönetim Derneği Başkanı Sayın Levent Alatlı'nın kürsüye teşriflerini arz ederim.
Şu ileri alıyor değil mi? Tamam. Buradan konuşmam gerekiyor herhalde mikrofon nedeniyle. Şu ışık çok gözüme geliyor ama biraz kenara alma şansı olabilir mi? Veya daha rahat salonu görmek daha iyi olacak. Değerli konuklarım, değerli hocalarım, sevgili öğrenciler, hoş geldiniz tekrar. Bugün bu kısımda ben sizlere bir binanın inşaatı ve tasarımı sırasında tesis yönetiminin önemiyle ilgili hızlı bir sunum yapmak istiyorum. Sonunda da bir miktar Türkiye'deki tesis yönetim pazarı ile ilgili kısa bilgileri aktarmak istiyorum. İşte, tesis yönetimi nedir? Tesis yönetimi bu konuda EuroFM'in eski başkanı Ron'un karikatürünü kullanıyorum bütün sunumlarımda. Hakikaten tesis yönetimi dediğimizde hepimizin aklında başka bir tarif, başka bir tanım var. Bu endüstrinin içinde olan kişilerde, uzmanlarda, kurumlarda bile aynı şey geçerli. Şimdi şöyle bakacak olursak, tesis yönetim sektörünün en eski derneği 1980 yılında Amerika'da kurulmuş olan IFMA, Uluslararası Tesis Yönetimi Derneği. Bugün aramızda da yönetim kurulu üyesi Jos bizlerle. Onların tanımı tesis yönetimi, insanları, mekanı, süreci ve teknolojiyi entegre ederek yapıların işlevselliğini sağlamak için çoklu disiplinleri kapsayan bir meslektir diyor. Bunun bir meslek olduğunu vurgulamışlar. Avrupa'da da 1993 yılında bu konuda uzman firmalar, kişiler, kurumlar bir araya gelmiş. European Facility Management Network dediğimiz EuroFM ki bugün aramızda Başkanı, Yönetim Kurulu üyeleri ve EuroFM'in toplantısında, yıllık toplantısında burada yapacağız birazdan. Onların tarifi de şu, tesis yönetimi bir kuruluş içindeki ana faaliyetlerin etkinliğini desteklemek ve iyileştirmek için anlaşılmış hizmetleri yürütmek ve geliştirmek amacıyla süreçlerin entegre edilmesidir diyor. Şimdi Türkiye'de Tesis Yönetim Derneği'nin kuruluşu biraz gecikti maalesef ama 2017'nin sonunda derneğimizi kurduk. Ve kurduğumuz dernek olarak da öncelikle bu tanımları getirmeye çalıştık. Bize göre tesis yönetimi ise bir tesisin sürdürülebilmesi ve geliştirilebilmesi için insan, mekan, teknoloji ve süreçleri birleştiren, birden fazla disiplini kapsayan, uzmanlık ve deneyim gerektiren bir meslektir diyoruz. Aslında her kurumun tarifleri birbirine çok yakın, bazı ufak tefek farklar var. Çok iyi oldu. Peki, tesis nedir? Tesis yönetimini tarif ettik ama tesis de tarif etmek lazım. Teşekkürler. Tesis nedir? Tesis, kısaca insanların yaşadığı veya çalıştığı yerdir bize göre. Dolayısıyla bir arsa ve üzerindeki binalar, donanımları bir tesisi oluşturur. Bina deyince aklımıza ne geliyor? Şimdi bir bina hayal edin desem, eminim hepiniz farklı bina hayal edeceksiniz. Mesela bir villa, bir apartman, bir site, bir yüksek katlı bina, otel, hastane, okul, üniversite, spor tesisleri, statlar, endüstriyel tesisler, fabrikalar, alışveriş merkezleri, alışveriş ve yaşam merkezleri ya da karma projeler, içinde daha fazla fonksiyonların olduğu binalar, ofis kuleleri, konut kuleleri, limanlar, hapishaneler ve havaalanları. Bunların hepsi aslında bir tesis, hepsi bir farklı bina. Bu binaların kullanım amaçları farklı, tasarımları farklı, birçok özellikleri çok farklı. Ama bütün binaların temel 3 ana özelliği var. Hepsinde ortak. Hangi bina olursa olsun 3 safhası var. Bu safhalar nedir bu binalarda? Hepinizin bildiği gibi birincisi tasarım safhası, ikincisi inşaat, yapım safhası, üçüncüsü de yaşam safhası. Elbette yaşamdan sonra bir yıkım, demolition safhası var. Tekrar tasarım, inşaat ve yapım devam ediyor. Bu bir döngü. Bu safhalara baktığımızda bunun en uzununun yaşam safhası olduğunu görüyorsunuz. Aslında tasarım da, inşaat da hep yaşam için var. Dolayısıyla her şey yaşam safhasının mükemmel olması, sorunsuz olması, optimum olması, uygun olması için yapılıyor. Yaşam başladığı zaman işte tesislerde, tesis yönetimi de başlıyor. Dolayısıyla tesis yönetimi nedir? konuşuyoruz sabahtan beri ve iki gün boyunca konuşacağız ama tesis yönetimi bir iceberg gibi. Bu iceberg'in ucu. Bunun altında birçok uzmanlıklar var. Neler var? Muhasebe, idari işler, teknik işler, hukuk işleri, temizlik, güvenlik, birçok fonksiyon bunun altında yer almakta. Bunların her biri de kendi içinde ayrı bir iceberg. Mesela tekniğin detayına bakalım. Bir binanın teknik işleri dediğinizde ısıtması, soğutması, aydınlatması, asansörleri birçok fonksiyon var. Binaların yapılarına göre bazısı olabilir, bazısı olmayabilir ama burada çok sayıda özellik var. Bir binayı, bu bina nasıl soğutacağız? Hangi soğutma sistemiyle soğutacağız? Ne kullanmamız lazım? Önümüzde gene birçok alternatifler var. İndiğimizde hava soğutmalı chiller mı, su soğutmalı chiller mı, split klima mı, rooftop mı, havalandırma santrali mı, neyi seçeceğiz? Bunlardan birinin detayına girdiğinizde altında birçok parçalar meydana geliyor. Onun altına indiğinizde bunların farklı tipleri, farklı parçaları var. Dolayısıyla biz diyoruz ki tesis yönetimi bir bilgi yoğun hizmet işidir. Ve burada farklı seviyelerde bilgi ve uzmanlığa ihtiyaç var. Hiç kimse bu bilgileri bu farklı seviyelerde bilmesi mümkün değil. Herkesin iyi bildiği konular var ama bilmediği konularda uzmanlardan faydalanması lazım. Dolayısıyla tesis yönetimi bize göre bugünün ve geleceğin bir mesleği. Ayrı bir uzmanlık gerektiren bir meslek. Şimdi tesis yönetimi tasarımı ve planlaması nedir? Ne zaman yapılması gerekir? Aslında bu binaların bu üç safhasına baktığımızda bazı binalarda bakıyoruz ki mutlu binalar var, bazıları mutsuz. Bazı binalar hasta, bazıları özürlü, engelli binalar. Hatta ölü binalar var. Yapılmış ama kullanılamıyor. Şimdi binanın sağlıklı olması, mutlu olması aslında o binanın inşaat safhasında ve tasarım safhasında tesis yönetimi konusunda bir planlama ve tasarım yapılmasına bağlı. Ki o tasarım ve planlamadan sonra iyi bir tesis yönetim hizmeti orada verilebilsin. Niye biz bu tesis yönetim tasarımına ihtiyaç duyuyoruz? Bunun önemi o binada yaşam başlayınca ortaya çıkıyor. Çünkü yaşam başladığı zaman yönetim başlıyor, yaşam başladığı zaman problemler başlıyor. Yönetim başladığı zaman problemler başlıyor. Aslında bu problemlerin birçoğu binanın tasarımı ve inşaat sırasında kolaylıkla çözülebilir. Hem de çok ucuza çözülebilir. Bazıları para da kazandırabilir. Ama bazı dikkat edilmeyen hususlar gelecekte bize önümüze çok pahalı çıkıyor ve bu sorunların giderilmesi bazen ilave maliyetlerle mümkün ama bazen para da verseniz çözemiyorsunuz. İşte o zaman bina özürlü doğuyor, sakat doğuyor. O ömrü boyunca o binada o kusur yaşıyor. Düzeltemiyorsunuz. Binanın öyle bir dış cephesi yapıyorsunuz ki bunu normal usullerle temizlemeniz mümkün değil. Sürekli dağcı çağırmanız lazım. Her bir gelişi ilave yüksek maliyetler. Ne yapacaksınız? Binayı komple yıkıp yeniden mi yapacaksınız? Yapamıyorsunuz. O maliyetlere katlanıyorsunuz. Şimdi dolayısıyla bu tesis yönetim hizmetleri ve tesis yönetim maliyeti, aidatlar aslında binanın inşaatı, tasarımı sırasında optimize edilebilir ve birçok alınan hizmetler de bu safhada anlaşılırsa maliyetler düşürülebilir. Şimdi her binada mimari tasarım, statik tasarım, elektromekanik tasarım, işte yangın tasarımı, otomasyon tasarımı birçok yapılması gereken teknik tasarım var. Ama o binalarda aynı zamanda başlaması gereken bir hukuk tasarımı o binayla ilgili, yani bizim yönetim planı dediğimiz tasarım, yaşam tasarımı, binanın yaşam kuralları, yani yönetim tasarımı, yani orada çalışacak kadrolar, işletme maliyetleri, aidatlar ya da işte verilecek hizmetler, bakım kontratları bunlar da çok önemli. Şimdi bunlara bakacak olursak her binanın başında, tasarım safhasında, hatta bazen Sayın Milletvekilim söyledi, tasarımdan önce başlaması gerekiyor. O binanın, o tesisin yapılacağı yerin tespiti bile çok önemli. Yanlış bir yerde başladığınızda onu sürekli yaşamak zorundasınız. O binadaki yaşamı hayal etmeniz, simüle etmeniz lazım. Sonra buradaki yaşamın ihtiyacı duyduğu tesis yönetim hizmetleri, ne hizmetlere ihtiyaç var bunu belirlemeniz lazım. Bu hizmetlerin kaç kişiyle yapılacağını, bu kişilerin iş tariflerinin belirlenmesi, iş tarifleri belirlendikten sonra bu kişilerin gündüz gece vardiya düzenleri, kaç vardiya çalışacak bunların karar verilmesi, hangi hizmetleri içeride yapacağınızı, hangi hizmetlerin dışarıdan alınacağını tespiti, buna göre yönetim planlarının hazırlanması, aylık yıllık işletme bütçenin çıkartılması ve her bir bağımsız bölüme düşen aidatların hesaplanması. Bunlar daha ortada hiçbir şey yokken tasarıma bağlı bir mimari tasarımla yapılabilecek çalışmalar ve bu aidatlar makulse projeye devam edilmesi. Yoksa kira gibi aidat çıkacağını baştan görüyorsanız belki projenizin konseptini tekrar gözden geçirip değiştirmeniz gerekebilir. Ve sistem kararları, elektromekanik sistem seçimleri, bakım kontratlarının yapılması gibi konuların başta yapılması lazım. FM servisleri dediğimizde, servislerde bu da bir İngiliz danışmanlık şirketinin şeması, çok seviyorum. Okumanız biraz zor, bazı yerlerini ben büyütmeye çalışayım. Yönetim hizmetleri dediğinizde teknoloji, insan kaynakları, müşteri ilişkileri, kurumsal sorumluluk, standartlara uygunluk, idari işler, risk yönetimi, stratejik aktiviteler gibi ve bunların da alt dalları var. Veya mülk yönetimiyle ilgili yapılan hizmetler var. Tasarımlar var, mülkiyetin devirleri var veya bir takım hizmetler var. Temizlik, bakım, yemek, ikram, destek hizmetler, güvenlik gibi. Her birinin alt detayları var ve bu binanızın özelliğine, yapısına, müşterinin beklentilerine göre bazı özellikler olabilir, bazıları olmayabilir. Siz bunları ayıklayarak kendi içinizde hangi hizmetlerin verilmesi gerektiğine karar vermeniz lazım. Kısaca tekrar bakacak olursak bu hizmetler yönetim, idari işler, finans, bakım, güvenlik, temizlik, kat hizmetleri, ikram, yemek, hukuk işleri, sağlık, haşere kontrol, bahçe, birçok detay var. Evet, Türkiye'deki tesis yönetim durumuna, pazarına şöyle göz açacak, bakacak olursak, öncelikle Avrupa'nın bir parçasıyız. Bu Avrupa'da 16 milyar euroluk bir gayri safi milli hasıla var. 741 milyon nüfus var. Türkiye bunun nüfus anlamında belki 9'da biri gibi yaklaşık ama GDP açısından ise neredeyse 20'de birine yakın bir fark var. Bunu arttırmamız gerekiyor. Tesis yönetim pazarının cirolarına baktığımızda Avrupa'nın gelişmiş pazarlarında Almanya 65-70 milyar euro tahmin ediliyor. Fransa 55-60 milyar euro bir çalışmaya göre. Türkiye pazarında 10-15 milyar euro gibi tahmin ediyoruz boyutunu. Şimdi Avrupa'daki tesis yönetim pazarı genelde olgun, doymuş bir pazar. Özellikle Kuzey Avrupa ve de Orta Avrupa için bunu söyleyebiliriz. Ama Güneydoğu Avrupa'ya baktığımızda ise burada pazarın daha az gelişmiş olduğunu görüyoruz ve bu bölgede de Türkiye aslında en büyük tesis yönetim pazarına sahip ülke. Nüfusu ve yapısı, ekonomik durumu itibariyle. Türkiye'de de tesis yönetim pazarı 1990'larda oluşmaya başladı. İlk yüksek yapılarla, karma yapılarla gelişti. Ve Türkiye'de tesis yönetim pazarının büyümesi için çok büyük bir potansiyel var. Çünkü son 15-20 yılda gördüğünüz gibi Türkiye'de bir dönüşüm var. Kentsel dönüşüm var. Yeni yapılar, gökdelenler, AVM'ler, yani 30 yıl önce olmayan yapılar bugün söz konusu. Ve bunlar bizim için, tesis yönetimi için büyük bir potansiyel. Bizim tahminimiz 10-15 milyar euroluk bir ciro var ve bu sektörde çalışan sayısında 1 milyon kişiden fazla olduğunu tahmin ediyoruz. Açılış konuşmasında söyledim. Sadece bizim 29 üyemizin 2018 yılı sonu itibarıyla çalışan sayısı 102 bin. Artı 22 binde outsource var, taşeronlarımız var. Bununla beraber 125 bin kişi zaten şirkette çalışıyor. Bize çok büyük güvenlik şirketleri var, çok büyük temizlik şirketleri var, üyemiz değil. Çünkü yönetim yapmadıkları için. Veya bu sektörde olup da işte haşere kontrol işinde olan veya yönetim yapan yüzlerce irili ufaklı şirket var. Bunların datalarını aldığımızda belki tablo bunun da çok daha üzerinde çıkabilir. Şimdi 2017'de kurulduk. Sadece tesis yönetim şirketleri bize üye oluyorlar. Bugün için 30 üyemiz var. 11.533 projede hizmet veriyoruz. Sabah da söylediğim gibi 2 şirketimiz kamu iştiraki, 6'sı uluslararası şirket, 10 üyemiz uluslararası pazarda çalışıyor. 4 üyemiz de 30'dan fazla ülkede faaliyet gösteriyor. Ve Türkiye'de de dünyada da tesis yönetimi bugünkü konferanstan da görüleceği gibi giderek önem kazanıyor. Giderek farkındalık yaratılıyor. Bunun çok büyük bir büyüme potansiyeli var ve Türkiye'nin en istihdam yoğun sektörlerinden biri. Girdiğimiz her binada neredeyse her gün tesis yönetiminde çalışan insanlarla beraberiz. Ama onu biz tesis yönetim sektörüne ait olduğunu bilmiyoruz. Bazen güvenlikçi zannediyoruz, bazen temizlikçi zannediyoruz, bazen teknisyen diyoruz, bazen resepsiyonist diyoruz. Ama onun bir tesis yönetimiyle ilişkilendirmiyoruz. Ama her gün görüyoruz. Her gün bize dokunuyorlar, her gün onlarla beraberiz. Biz tesis yönetim sektörünün gelişmesi için, tesis yönetim sektöründeki problemlerin çözümü için çaba gösteriyoruz. Maliyetlerin optimize edilmesi için, tesis yönetim hizmetlerinin kalitesini geliştirmesi için faaliyet gösteriyoruz. 2 yıldır fuar düzenliyoruz kurulduğumuzdan beri. Ve fuarımız her sene giderek büyüyor. 2020 yılında da Ekim ayında inşallah fuarımızı İstanbul'da yapacağız. İstanbul FM Expo fuarı olarak. Fuarla beraber aynı zamanda Türkiye Tesis Yönetimi Konferansı'nı düzenliyoruz. Bu konferansımızda da sektörün sorunlarını tartışıyoruz. İşbirlikleri yaptık. Öncelikle Ankara Üniversitesi ile yaptığımız işbirliğimiz var. Makine mühendisleriyle, elektrik mühendisleri odasıyla işbirliklerimiz var. Uluslararası Tesis Teknik Müdürleri Derneği ile işbirliğimiz var. Her kurumla işbirliğini açığız. Ve kurulduktan itibaren de hem ulusal hem uluslararası birçok aktiviteye katılmaya çalışıyoruz. Sofya'da Avrupa Tesis Yönetimi Konferansı'na katıldık. Beykent Üniversitesi Konferansı, Romanya'daki konferans, İsviçre'deki EuroFM üyeler toplantısı, Dublin'deki Avrupa Konferansı, Sofya'daki Yeşil Binalar ve Akıllı Binalar Konferansı ve Norveç'teki konferans gibi. Biz de bildiğiniz gibi işte fuar ve konferans düzenledik. Geçen sene gene Ankara Üniversitesi'yle bir günlük sempozyumumuz vardı. Bu sene de Ankara'da 2 günlük bir konferans düzenliyoruz. Ve konferansımızla beraber EuroFM'in de üyeler toplantısını yapıyoruz. İnşallah gelecek yılda FM Expo ve İstanbul'daki konferansımıza devam edeceğiz. EuroFM'de ilk defa Türkiye'de üyeler toplantısını yapıyor. Konferansımızda paylar, oturumlar şeklinde kendilerine tekrar teşekkür ediyorum. Hoş geldinler diyorum. Ben dikkatiniz için, sabrınız için de sizlere çok teşekkür ediyorum.
Şimdi Avrupa Tesis Yönetimi Pazarı ve EuroFM başlıklı konuşmasını sunmak üzere EuroFM Avrupa Tesis Yönetimi Ağı Başkanı Sayın Goran Milanov'un kürsüye teşriflerini arz ederim.
If I need it, I will take it.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again. During all the events that were actually supported and organized by the Turkish FM Association, I was always trying to talk about EuroFM, and I was always trying to promote EuroFM as a logical partner and platform which can be used for establishing contacts and establishing relations with all the stakeholders within the European FM society. We were talking about EuroFM in general, what we can do, how we can do. Even today we are here for our General Members meeting and we start doing concrete steps. But this next couple of minutes, I want to share you a little bit more insight what actually EuroFM is. Yes, we all know that the three main pillars that we have in EuroFM, this is practitioners, education, and research. Together with these three, we have our corporate members, and with our corporate members, we want to know what's happening in the real world, in the real practice, as a problems, challenges, market conditions, and all the things that we need to know in order to be able to support and to enhance the profession. EuroFM, by its nature, it's a platform. We gives the opportunity to connect different stakeholders in different organizations which are involved in facilities management in order to advance, to move forward, and to develop the facilities management profession, and to be able to talk also to authorities, to other industries, what would be the add-on value of the facilities management to the core business of the organizations, regardless if the facilities management services are outsourced or are still delivered in-house. As every organization, we have our mission and vision. I will not go and I will not read it, but really we want to be the tool that connects the different stakeholders and different players among the FM community in Europe and outside Europe. who are our partners and our members, and what we can deliver to the stakeholders of FM industry. On the first place, I would say a quite important thing, this is the knowledge exchange. The network that we have, it has a lot of members, and the knowledge that is there, it's ready to be shared. Our members are really open to share knowledge in different areas, like case studies, like white papers, research papers. All what we can have as a knowledge in EuroFM, we are ready to share. The network abilities and the matchmaking options that we have, it's really, I could say, a huge opportunity. Via EuroFM, all our members and all our partners can contact many different organizations really across the globe. The other thing that EuroFM deeply believe is that if we join forces, our voice will be much more loud, and more people and more organizations and more authorities will listen to us and will understand what we do and how we do. Who are our partners and who are our natural partners is maybe the right word. On the first place, the national FM associations like Turkish Facilities Management Association is also a member of EuroFM. The universities and the research institutes are very dear parts of our organization, and researchers and universities are really giving this scientific knowledge and educational programs that all the people that are working in the area of facilities management can adapt and can follow. As I mentioned, always we are looking to be in a close contact with big FM companies, because they're really at the market, and they really knows what are the problems, what are the challenges, and what kind of solutions they can have. And during the last 2.5 years, we introduced a new program which we called Ambassador Program. The Ambassador Program, I will talk about it a little bit later, but the Ambassador Program comes because we saw that outside Europe, there's so many countries and there are so many people that really would like to access our network and would like to access our knowledge and our best practices and to disseminate them in their own countries. And I'm quite happy to say that today in this room we have 4 of our ambassadors present here. A little bit more concrete numbers. From the EuroFM perspective, the map of Europe for our core members looks like that. We have 20 national associations, and these 20 national associations, they are accommodating like 25,000 members plus. We have 32 university and research institutes which are doing their master bachelor degree and their research programs in facilities management, and in total we have something like 20,000 plus students educating and doing their programs in facilities management. We have 14 corporate members, like companies, and these companies are representing something like 100 billion euro portfolio and something like 1,002,100 employees across Europe. During the last years, as I said, we have quite an intensive connections with partners and organizations outside Europe. So also we have 7 FM organizations outside Europe. This is Brazil, Costa Rica, Colombia, Japan. Their national associations are also associate members of EuroFM. The Ambassador Program, that's how looks the map of our ambassadors. The main reason of incubating this program is, again, we saw that outside Europe there are many countries that really want to develop the FM business on the national level, and they're really looking for knowledge, they're looking for educational programs, they're looking for trainings. So introducing the Ambassador Program, we want to do the two-way street. Of course, we are ready and we are happy to share the knowledge that we have, but also we are very keen to learn what's the situation of the FM business and the FM maturity in those countries. So we start doing kind of a FM yearly book where we collect information from all those countries, and we are trying to put it in one place, having information about the existence of national associations, availability of standards, ISO standards, European norms, other standards, acceptance of the local governments and the authorities from the FM perspective and how they are really accepting the role of FM of controlling the big and not that big infrastructure projects. Exchanging information like on a media level. Events that are happening within the EuroFM network are actually spread across the globe, and also local events that are in the countries where we have ambassadors are also distributed in our network like information. So all this information flow is give us really quite a good picture what is happening across the globe and how we can really be able to enhance the profession of facilities managers across the globe. Simple numbers. We have more than 80 members, and these members are associations, university, research institutes, associations. We have more than 30 ambassadors today in 30 different countries. We have covered more than 40 countries where we have presence and where we have members. And we have, as I mentioned, more than 20,000 students within our network, which are study different master and bachelor degrees and PhD programs within the FM. Currently, we have at least 10 open projects that we are working within the EuroFM network. And we will celebrate next year our 30th anniversary. We have 30 years of experience of EuroFM and developing and enlarging the network that we have. The projects that we are running now, in the first place I put our summer and winter school because we deeply believe that the students are our future, and these are projects that during the last years we constantly support. The last summer school was in Trondheim, and there the students there were actually doing their work based on a community-based facilities management together with the city and Trondheim. The good thing of this summer and winter school is that the students that are participating in this summer and winter schools, they're really going to work on a concrete tasks, on a concrete challenges, and then the winner of this competition at the end, the solution that they proposed is really implemented on place on the projects that they're working on. Another project that we are working is this Alliance for Sustainable Development. This is a project that it's on an association level, and also Turkish FM Association is participating in this project. So the main goal of this project is to see how we spend energy, spend water, spend waste, and this how we can move from the idea of having the most lowest price or the most low quotation to a sustainable managing of the energy resources that we have. COIL project, a project run together with Zurich University and the Hague Technical University, which is aiming to see which is the most sustainable and good platform for online collaboration between our ambassadors. You can imagine that having 30 ambassadors today with the idea that this number will grow. We will have people all around the world with different time zones, with the different IT tools that they're using, with the different platforms. So we wanna use this project in order to offer to all the ambassadors a common platform that they can exchange all the information that they need and that they have in the most easiest, in the most nice way. And also this to help us when we have this information to put this information on all our media channels that we have. The digitalization of facilities services is Erasmus project, again together with Stuttgart Technical University, with Madrid Technical University and the Metropolitan University of Finland, together with FM House as a private partner, where we are trying to look what is the level of digitalization of the FM services and to see how and what are the best way to develop academical and educational processes and programs in order to raise the level of digitalization of the FM services that we are offering. EuroFM Ambassador Program is also a project that we are running since 2 years, and really we are looking forward to make it more bigger, more visible, and really to exchange an FM information all across the globe and to put it in one place, and everybody who needs contact information, concrete information about markets, about legislation, about standards, about everything, to be able to see, to find this information easily, and to know that in each country we have an ambassador who can be in help of our doings there. EuroFM Awards, it's one project that is very nice, and we have 3 different type of awards, let's say. The first type of awards is the ones that we're giving to students. We entitle all our students to make their project, to present them during our yearly events and yearly conferences, and we give awards to the students because, again, we do believe that the future of FM is in our students. These are the new people that will come, that will change the world, and they will continue changing the FM world after we retire, let's say. The other type of the awards is the research awards. So we are also supporting all the research society, and during our yearly events we have awards for the best research paper and stuff like that. The third type of award is for the best business practices. And just to let you know, because we are not, we are in Europe, we are the European FM network, but the last year the best practice award was given to a company in Dubai, which is outside Europe. So we are not bounded within the borders of Europe, and we are looking really in a very international way. Another always ongoing project is our media channels. Of course, we have our website where all the news are published, but also we have online magazines like EFMI, which is a quarterly based magazine distributed online. And I can embrace and I can ask you, all the papers, all the research papers and all the news that we have, please send it to us and we can publish this on our EFMI magazine. We have our members' messages usually 2 times per month, which we are distributing among our all members. And we are looking also to extend this media coverage that we have by social medias, by LinkedIn groups, by Facebook group, by Instagram, by Twitter, and so on and so forth. The conferences and the events that we are organizing, always we are looking like today. We are here today with our member, Turkish Facilities Management Association, hosted by the University of Ankara, and that's for us is the best way of organizing our events, because EuroFM exists because of our members, and always we are looking to do our events together with our members. We have 2 meetings, like autumn generals members meeting, spring generals members meeting, and 1 yearly conference usually, but also we are supporting all our members, and we are trying to be on each event that they're organizing on a country level in order to support them in their development in the area of FM. The last one, you see that it's international development and collaboration. I think that all of the projects that I mentioned until now are more or less international, but also we are looking and we have a long history with all other stakeholders in the area of facilities management, which we are partnering a long time ago. But during the last couple of months, we saw also that businesses outside the core FM business are looking to collaborate with us. The last, let's say, the last experience that we have is with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, a bank responsible for infrastructure project financing in different areas. It's not only in Europe, but also outside Europe. And during the last years, we have many talks with them. We have many meetings. Even representative of the bank were actually presenting during our conferences. And for me, it was quite an important message from a financial institution, which is far away from the core FM world. But these guys were saying that naturally they are recognizing the facilities management companies and the facilities management business as the right recipient of the funds that they are making in order to develop infrastructure in different countries and in different regions. For me, this is quite a strong message, and I think that in general, we as a facilities managers, we should, we should stop being shy of what we are doing and how we are doing. We are bringing the add-on value to the core businesses, and we are one of the main wheels, maybe not the biggest one, but one of the main wheels of the constantly developed process in the companies. So let's go out and let's look for partners which are outside the FM society and which will help us in order, again, to bring this additional value to our core businesses that we are serving. Again, I would say that we are very happy and very pleased of having our General's Members meeting here in Ankara. Use all the platform and all the network opportunities that EuroFM has. And I know that already there are concrete conversations between our educational chair and the University of Ankara of exchanging students in the near future and having internship programs. So I think that this is one of the proofs what a network like EuroFM can bring to the FM business in the different countries. Thank you.
Şimdi Uluslararası Tesis Yönetimi Pazarları ve Sivil Toplum Kuruluşları oturumumuza geçiyoruz. Oturumumuzun moderatörü, TRFMA Tesis Yönetim Derneği Başkanı Sayın Levent Alatlı'yı yerine davet ediyorum. Söz sizdedir. Buyurun.
Teşekkür ederim. Ben de konuşmacılarımı önce yerlerine davet etmek istiyorum. Bu oturumda 3 değerli konuşmacımız olacak. İlk konuşmacımız IFMA Uluslararası Tesis Yönetimi Derneği'nden Jos Düşan. Please have a seat first. İkinci konuşmacımız EuroFM İspanya elçisi Dr. David Martinez. Üçüncü konuşmacımız IWFM'den İngiltere'den Neil Everett. Sayın konuklar, değerli hocalarım ve sevgili öğrenciler. Bu oturumda Uluslararası Tesis Yönetim Pazarları ve Sivil Toplum Kuruluşları ile ilgili konuşacağız. İlk konuşmacımız Jos Düşan, halen IFMA, Uluslararası Tesis Yönetim Derneği Global Yönetim Kurulu üyesi ve IFMA Avrupa Danışma Kurulu Başkanı'dır. Jos'tan bize Uluslararası Tesis Yönetim Pazarları ve IFMA ile ilgili bilgi vermesini istiyorum. Jos, I would like to invite you to the stage. Please give us information about the international FM markets and IFMA, of course. The stage is yours.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the Turkish Facility Management Association and the University of Ankara for the invitation. Thank you very much. So I will talk about some international trends on facilities management, also about IFMA. If you would wake up in 2050 in Dubai. Maybe you would have a view on the city like this. So the cities are changing, our environment is changing, we have challenges on sustainability, energy consumption, and our cities will completely have a different look in the future. Facilities management profession will have an important role in this. And our profession in the future will definitely have three internal clients. So we will work, and that's very specific for our profession, so that we will work for 3 groups of clients. And the first group is the society. So the people who live in the cities, who live in the new cities, and where we will have a contribution to make these cities a good place for people to live, to work, to relax, to shop. The second group of our clients in the future are these, the companies. So this is a picture of Microsoft in Luxembourg. The companies are changing. There will be a different type of collaboration inside companies, and people between companies will also collaborate in a different way. And the third group of our clients from the facilities management profession are these, the people, the human beings. So, and also what is established in the new ISO 41000 definition on facilities management, also the health of the well-being of the human beings is one of the central points. Facilities management as a profession really has an important contribution to this. I will now elaborate on some topics all of them are related to these 3 groups of clients of our professions. So the society, the organizations and the companies and the human beings. These are numbers from the Building Performance Institute Europe. So doing research on the building stock in Europe. So about how much energy consumption the buildings that actually our profession manage are taken. And so you can see that 40% of the entire energy consumption in Europe is taken by the buildings. 36% of the CO2 emission is done by buildings. So if we look into the future and to take care of our planet, we really have to look into improving our buildings. You see that 50% of the buildings built before 75 will be still in use in 2050. So the European Commission has a plan, a sustainability plan for 2050 to make the energy consumption zero in all European buildings. This is a target, but it's going to be a huge challenge where facilities managers have to play an important role. 90% of a person's life is spent indoor, so inside buildings. So we need to take care of our buildings and to make this as an, let's say, a health environment for the people that live and work in these buildings. Talking about the buildings and about CO2, maybe you know Jeremy Rifkin. It's a professor from the US, but he did some consultancy also for Germany, for Angela Merkel, in trying also related to, we heard about the Industry 4.0 this morning. So the change in the supply of energy will be speed up in the upcoming years. And it's also what Jeremy Rifkin refers to, and he calls it his third industrial revolution, where we need to rethink the entire system of energy producing and energy consumption. And again, facilities managers who manage buildings and who manage facilities have to play an important role because they knew the technical installations, they knew the buildings, and they should be able to connect the buildings to the smart grids and actually to become an important shareholder in the energy transition of the buildings. And so that's what he calls his economic paradigm shift. Related to the working environment, also there we see a lot of changes. And this is a picture from a project we did for EY. So where EY said, okay, we don't want to keep our building as only a place for people to work. No, the working environment is not a building anymore. Working is really becoming an activity. 30 years ago, if you want to work, you had to go to the office building because the chair was there, your desk was there, maybe at that time a computer was there, the telephone was there, your colleagues were there, all the information to work was there in that building. Today, it's not the case anymore. By using technology, we are able to work anywhere. We're connected to our colleagues by using technology. All the information is there. So why should a company, as for example EY, keep an office building? Because people can work from hotels, from home, in the train, everywhere. So the role of the office, the working environment is changing. So actually the working environment is becoming part of the strategic plan of an organization. So attracting people by providing a healthy and a good-looking working environment. And collaboration from corporates with co-working spaces where people go in and out are very common in our area. So we have to look to the new generation because they expect other things. Generation Y is already the largest generation now. They have another type of communication. They have another type of using technology. So I have 3 kids between 16 and 23. The way they communicate today is completely different as how I was communicating. And not only because of the tools, but also of the way that they communicate. The type of message they're sending. Not only take care of young people in our organizations, also facilities managers should look into combining different generations on the work floor. So we will have 4, maybe 5 generations in the same working environment. So if we only focus on the technology for the youngsters, we will use the more senior people. So again, there the facility managers need to be very attentive to what's going on, not only with the youngsters, but also with people who have spent more time already in the company. So I don't have to tell you that technology is going fast. So this is Pepper. He will take care of me when I'm retired and in the elderly house, and nobody else can take care of me. So robots will be taking care of old people in the future. So, but the important thing is that we have to embrace technology and actually to make it work, because our brains need to be able to make the transition from data into wisdom. Already a lot of data is available, but a lot of companies and organizations are not able to transform this data into information, into knowledge, into wisdom. And we should take care as facility managers to these different systems and really invest in the translation from data into wisdom. And IFMA, as a facilities management association, can support in this, because I think it's important that people come together in communities and actually share knowledge, share ideas, and in conferences like this, talk about the profession and think about the future. So IFMA is an association for facility managers. Our members are individuals, so a person can become a member of IFMA to learn, to connect, and to advance. So IFMA is, as today, 24,000 people as a member, and we're working in 104 countries. So this is the, wait, something went wrong here. Okay. If I go back, this like this. Okay. So learn. So IFMA has a knowledge library saying that a lot of information that is accessible for the members. So we do market research because IFMA has a research and benchmark institute that is also working globally and doing research on the profession, also in collaboration with different universities. IFMA provides training, and we try to integrate more with local training programs, because I'm convinced of the fact that you can provide international training, but still there is some local aspects. And so it's important to connect to local training programs and add this international flavor that gives people the opportunity to travel and to do business cross-border. IFMA has this certification program and also the accreditation program that we're very close with University of Ankara. So thank you for being part of this program. And so the accreditation program is also part of this knowledge. The second part is connecting. So we, as an association, we want to provide, let's say, a platform where people can connect. So we have the chapters, so that's on a geographical level, where people come together. We have the councils. This is across the globe, where people from the same industry connect and share projects. We have communities that are based on competence centers. And so we do also events. Every year there is a World Workplace. It's next week in Phoenix. It's the global. And we also have regional events connected to specific regions, but also events on a local level. And for us, it's also important to reach out to other associations, because all of us, we have the same goal. We want to advance our profession. We want to increase the awareness of facility management. We want to create a better world. And so that's part of our common goal. And the third one is to advance. So we are developing position papers. As IFMA, we're also very connected to the EU policymakers. So we are part of several projects related to sustainability, related to climate change, related to CO2 reduction, and we participate in the social and economical debates. A good example is this report that officially will be presented next week in Phoenix. It's a research report but it's market research on climate change fundamentals. So actually, this is for the facility managers. This report giving an overview of what's going on with the climate. And based on this report, a second report will be prepared beginning of next year with how the facility managers can contribute in reducing CO2 emission, in improving energy performance in his area. Because I'm convinced of the fact that facility managers have all the tools to play an important role in this. And of course, as an association, we have a lot of challenges. Do we still have to have one membership with one membership fee, or do we have to change our model? Are we becoming more a digital association with a network, with different links? And of course, we need to rethink because IFMA exists in the 80s, so we have to rethink. And one of the changes that's going on today, also in IFMA, is that IFMA really wants to become an international association. So it's started in the US, but we have now regional boards, and on a regional level, people connect more to the chapters, and so that in the US, in Europe, EMEA region, and in Asia, there a separate group of people working on actually translating the global strategy of IFMA into the region and connect to the members and the chapters on the local level. And if you want to be part of this regional event, I invite you all to the World Workplace Europe. Next year, it's going to be held in Amsterdam. It's in the Old Harbor of Amsterdam. It's from the 18th to the 20th of March. And we try to connect there to all FM experts, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jos, for this wonderful speech. Şimdi sizlere ikinci konuşmacımız EuroFM Avrupa Tesis Yönetim Ağı'na İspanya'dan katılan David Martinez'i takdim etmek istiyorum. EuroFM'in İspanya elçisi olup ayrıca EuroFM'in her yıl düzenlediği Avrupa Tesis Yönetimi Konferansı'nda düzenleyicisidir. David bize İspanya ve Güney Amerika tesis yönetim pazarları ve bu ülkelerdeki tesis yönetim dernekleri ilgili bilgi vermesi istiyorum. David, I would like to invite you to the stage to give us some information about the Spanish and Latin American FM market and association.
Good morning. Thank you to everybody that has mentioned before, because there are so many that I don't remember, a part of the Ankara University and all the official representatives. Usually I will walk, but my leg is not very happy, so I think I will stay behind the microphone. 1996 until 1999, I was working in the UK. I was studying, getting my degree, my PhD there, and I was involved with facility management in a university with a facility management degree. So everybody knew what's facility management. I came back to Spain in 2000, and when I telling my colleagues that I was working in facility management, people were looking at me like, what? So, facility management. And they were like, what's that? So I tried to explain. So I ended up saying, no, I work in FM. So people ask me, oh, you work on the radio? And I said, no, I work in facility management. This is true. This is the year 2000. For many years, I realized that very few people know what is facility management. 2001, I started working different companies. I was collaborating with the British Institute, and I was working in facility management, and I was doing facility management projects. So 2002, we started doing the FM model of Microsoft in facility management. When I was telling my friends, they didn't know what that meant. Over the years, I realized that people still don't know what's facility management. So in the year 2000, we decided to create something to promote what is facility management and to share the concept of facility management. The logo of Sivmers Globals is a wall of facility management. The idea is to share what's going on, to compare initiatives, and to be able to get the benefit of what's happening in the rest of the world. We have 3 lines. The first one is ethics and quality. Everything we do, it has to be ethic, it has to be clean, and it has to be good. So that means we have to listen to everybody, but we need to pass a filter of what's good and what's not good, trying to avoid marketing, trying to avoid personal perspectives, and being open to what the markets want. The second is about sharing knowledge. Everything we do, we share it. Every single video of every single conference that we have produced in the past 7 years is online for free. Someone asked me a couple of years ago, they said, why don't you put that online for free? And I said, why don't you do that? Which you should be doing that, which you belong to an association. So for me, sharing knowledge is the only option to spread what we do. In this room, probably there is no a single CEO. There is not a single chief of human resources or finance guy. But if you put a video online and your CEO can see what the head of FM of Google or what the head FM of Microsoft or what the head FM of Amazon is doing, they might watch that video and they might say, I know now what's FM, because they will never come to these events. So sharing knowledge is not only for us, it's for the others. One of my messages is, if we don't stop talking amongst ourselves and we put 10% of our time to tell others what's FM, we will die. Happy, but we will die, and alone. So the third one is about the triple win. When we're thinking about events, we said it has to be good for the speakers, it has to be good for the attendees, and it has to be good for the sponsors. So we need to work on a triple win. If you try to squeeze any of them, this will not work. The relationship will not work based on the content and based on the events. So 2013, I said to the team, hey, we are going to organize a conference. And people know that when I say something, I mean it, and I do it. And I say, we're going to organize Congreso Iberoamericano de Facility Managers. So the Ibero-American Congress of Facility Managers. At the time, I made a mistake that I'm trying to fix now. For the last year, I'm trying to delete facility manager from my dictionary and substitute for facility management professional. Because if I tell you are a facility manager, they will never invite you to a meeting, they will give you a screwdriver and will tell you to change a bulb. Facility manager as a name is linked to an operational level, and it's like that, and we cannot change that. Facility manager by definition is that has finished a facility management degree. the same that an engineer has finished an engineering degree or a lawyer has finished a law degree. So facility manager in the market, we're not going to change it. So we have other ways to call them. So anyway, the first time I said CIFMERS, that could be the name of the Congress. I organized that with a consultancy company. And I said, we have to detach this. So we have to clean the name. So we create a company called CIFMERS Global, which is the same name. So that's why the company has this name. The second year, we organized the same, but we substitute the I instead of Iberoamericano for International. So we organized the first Congreso Internacional de Facility Managers. In the first event, it was the only time that I've seen the CEO or the chiefs from IFMA, EuroFM, Coronet, and RECS on the same table. I was moderating that session. That's online, that's available. That's the only time that we've seen them together. After that, we decided to keep organizing things and keep sharing events with that objective, with the objective of we need to promote FM. So we had this Congress, the CIFMERS Congress, then we had the small conferences, and then we had what we call La Semana del Facility Management. This means the week of facility management. The objective of this event was to create an FM association. We were going to different countries that they did not have an FM association and organize an event with the purpose of creating an association. I believe that I have two dogmas. One is, if there is no good service providers, there is no good FM. But if without an FM association, there is not an engine that is moving the market forward. So we wanted to help the markets to create FM associations. The second objective was a bit selfish. I want the countries to participate in the ISO standards. I've been for 10 years alone attending the ISO meetings to create the ISO standards with no other Spanish-speaking person there. So I wanted to have other representatives from other countries. And my third element is, we did it only once. We think that one association is enough and is good per country. So we never did this event in a country which they already have an FM association. Because I think FM is not well known. So if you have different associations, you dilute the efforts. So sponsors have to think where they are going, events will be bigger, will be more, will be less people inside. So that's why we think that we only do it once. By doing this, we managed to help the creation of associations in Mexico, in Panama, in Costa Rica, in Colombia, in Peru, in Chile, and we did an event in Serbia, but they did not create an association. So these associations have their own life. They have decided what they do. They have their own level of maturity. They do the things the way they want. We don't interfere. We just say, guys, an association is good for the market, and we will help you to create it. And we put the effort there. Many times people were looking at us like, what do you make out of this? We said, nothing. We just want you to have an FM association. So now and then we go there, we give a speech, we help them if we can. But these are the engines of FM. That's why the Turkish Association is so important for the country, because it's the engine. So when we were doing these events, I gave them like 5 rules. That was my personal advice for the FM associations that they create in Latin America. I said, the first rule is, it has to be ethical and transparent. Everything you do, it has to be transparent. Nobody can think that you are doing business here, because then the association will not it will not be relevant, it will not be taken seriously. The second one is about be open. I think an FM association has to be open to everybody. Public and private, universities, all type of stakeholders, service providers, of course, and all kind of people. Because if you manage to create an association where everybody can add their inputs, that association will really make an effort and will really make a change in the market. For me, the president cannot be, the president has to be an end user from a top company. I've been 8 years the vice president of the association in Spain because I am a service provider. And I don't want to be the president because I don't think the president should be a service provider, it should be an end user. If one of the biggest companies, that FM, is the head, the chair, the president, whatever the name, of an FM association, that gives a lot of credibility. And then 2 more advice I tell them. The first is, don't compete with members. It will sound crazy if the Turkish association is selling furniture or is selling cleaning. But some other associations, they think that the role is to sell training or accreditations. You are competing with universities. You are competing with other members that they are doing that and they could do that. And don't use the members as your clients. Some associations, they're telling me, oh, then we can do a report and we can sell it to the members. No, if they are members, you have to help them. So sometimes they say, so if we don't sell them these things, if we don't sell them the reports, what do we do as an association? And say, do what others cannot do. An association is strong enough to go to the government and talk on behalf of facility management. An association has the ability and the capability of talk with other associations and with other representatives. Has the ability to represent the country in the ISO standard. Has the ability to do lobby for facility management. And when an association is good enough and strong enough to help their market and their discipline, service providers, end users, universities, everybody will want to be there. And if everybody is there, fees can be very low. And associations can be very big. What we cannot do is, if we have less members, charge them more to have the same amount of money. That's a mistake. So, for FM associations, we were organizing different events, and a few years ago, EuroFM approached us and said, hey, we are looking for a conference organizer to help us with our conference. I said, okay, we will do it. So we did Madrid, and then we did Sofia, and then we did Dublin this year. We also organized a conference in Latam. We call it the CIFMERS Latam. It's a 2-day conference. It was in Lima a few days ago. And then we organized, it was postponed, the CIFMERS Africa and the CIFMERS Asia with some of our ambassadors from EuroFM. So all this traveling, all these changes, it made me think about how different FM is in the countries and how different the evolution is in the countries. So we have Iberia and Latin America. We can distinguish this region by the language, Spanish and Portuguese. But it's very important to analyze the regions. We call EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I would like to find the guy that decided that EMEA is a region and treat it as a one single unit and take him for breakfast to Stockholm, lunch in Madrid, and dinner in Johannesburg. And tell you see, it should be the same. This is a region. It's not a region. The fact that it's close doesn't mean that it's similar. We are very different from Portuguese, and we are next to each other. So Latin America, we think, oh, they all speak Spanish. They all speak Spanish, and some of them, they speak Portuguese in Brazil and some other smaller countries. So they should be the same. No, they are not the same. They are not the same. The way they act, they're very clever. They're very curious. The way they want things is very demanding. They really want to know. The universities are very, very strong. Universities in Latin America are very, very strong. So the difference in the different countries, it has to do with the way they perceive things, but also the government, but also the regulations. We think that Latin America is like a one big region, and we can treat it as one piece or one continent because they all speak the same language. But that's not true. They are maturing fast, but they are maturing in different countries at different speed. Some countries are closer to regions that they are more advanced. Some others are not close to that. Or some others are closer to Spain, or some others are closest to Brazil. Brazil is one of the oldest. ABRFAC is one of the oldest FM associations in the world, together with Japan. So these associations have created their own concept of FM, and they have grown and they have shaped how FM is. So for those countries that are closer to Brazil, they have a different concept for those that are not close to Brazil. They are learning for what we did. The new associations we have helped creating in Mexico or in Peru, they are not taking the same roads that we were taking before. Facility management is changing very, very, very quick. European standards that was started in 2006, 2007, in the European standards we were saying IT is part of FM. And we were saying cleaning is a very important thing and it's on the top of FM. Now we are saying, no. Those are facility services. IT is not part of FM anymore. So they are not taking this road going from the, IT is not FM anymore. They take a shortcut and say, we go to the end. We go for the lessons learned. And that's very good because we can help them with our knowledge and our experience. So all their associations can look at them and help them to avoid commit the same mistakes. We have opportunities in Latin America. The first one, we need to understand what they do. Every country is very different from north to south. The industries are very, very, very strong there. But the way they do things is very different. Some countries are very focused to the government and very close to the government, so things don't happen if someone from the government is there. Some other countries, they need the private companies there. If there is no big private companies, nothing happens. We need to understand what they need. When we talk about facility management, they have different needs. So if you are not clever offering what do you need, facility management will not have the good solution for them. So facility management can add a lot of input. We can tell them about our lessons, but we need to understand the market. It's a very difficult market. Even if I talk the same language, for me, every day I'm going there, I'm learning. Next week I'm in Colombia, and I'm having meetings with different people with different needs. And the way that I talk with them is very different. It's not like, oh, because it's Colombia, I can put the same message. That's not right. We need to exchange experiences, and we can exchange students. You were talking about Ankara University exchanging students. They have very big and very good universities in Latin America. There is a huge opportunity. People are very well educated. Almost everybody speaks English, things that we don't do in Spain. So the market is big because these guys are very good, and they have very are willing to learn and are willing to exchange. And finally, I think Netflix has been a bad influence. When we think about Colombia and Mexico and we think the cartels and that's not right, okay? It's not that bad. My mother called me one day, she was watching a documentary in Colombia and how people were cleaning the street, and said, where are you? Are you in Colombia? I said, yes, I'm watching the news. I said, believe me, I'm not there. That's in the news in a very specific country. Colombia, Mexico, Peru, they are beautiful countries with beautiful cities, extremely safe, a part of the areas where you shouldn't go, but I'm sure you have in Ankara areas that you shouldn't go. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. Now, şimdi sizlere son konuşmacımızı eski adıyla British Institute of Facility Management ve yeni adıyla Institute of Workplace and Facility Management, IWFM'den katılan Neil Everett'i takdim etmek istiyorum. Neil, IWFM'de kıdemli uluslararası iş geliştirme müdürü olarak çalışmaktadır. Neil'den bize İngiltere ve Uluslararası Tesisin Yönetimi Pazarları ve IWFM ile ilgili bilgi vermesi istiyorum. Neil, stage is yours.
Great stuff, thank you. I'm glad to see that there's still quite a few people here just before lunch. I'm conscious that everyone's probably getting a little bit hungry. First of all, congratulations on a fantastic event. It's great to see so many people here. I think it's obviously testament to the organisation that's taken place, so congratulations. I just wanted to talk to you a bit today, and I'll go through very quickly. I've got a lot of slides, but I won't talk to all of them. About two things about FM. One is, I think, the evolution, kind of the way it's developed, the way it's developing, and the kind of, what's going to happen in the future. But also the perception. So the perception kind of from outside of the FM. It's great to see so many sort of FM professionals here, but I think at the end of the day, we need to kind of understand that the perception from outside of the profession. So, from our customers, stakeholders, that kind of thing. So just a little bit about that, and hopefully you'll find it, somewhat interesting. Oh. Okay, so first of all, getting quite close to lunch, but a fundamental question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Does anyone want to hazard a guess? Okay. It was the egg. The reason being that the chicken egg didn't originally come from a chicken. It came from the animal at the top there, which is called a red jungle fowl. So it's you know, an example of evolution. Types of species evolve, they change. So actually, you know, it was the egg, so the chicken egg came first, and obviously the chicken came after that. So a simple kind of analogy about, I suppose, the way that FM and the way that we see FM as IWFM kind of working. We had, until recently, we were called the British Institute of Facility Management. We started around 30 years ago in the UK. 2018, we decided to change the name from BIFM to IWFM, the Institute of Workplace and Facility Management. There's been quite a lot of discussion about why we did this. Why did we drop the B? Why did we adopt workplace? And why should workplace be next to facility management? Surely workplace is a subset of facility management. I'll try and explain maybe some of the thinking behind it. But I suppose linking then to the kind of perception piece, I mean, I think there's, as FM and a few of the other speakers kind of touched on it earlier today, it's always a challenge, I think, for FM to be understood and to be seen as important. Everyone knows in the room that it's important, but you know, does the outside world understand that? Do our customers really understand that? There's this whole cycle that we can, you know, fall into. It lacks resources and support if we're not careful. It struggles to innovate. You know, is there the level of money there to kind of invest and innovate and be seen as more strategic? I mean, you can talk about, you know, should FM be strategic or not, but that's the kind of perception that we face. And then, you know, you kind of get to the stage where it just focuses on essential operational activities. That, you know, obviously it's an important thing to do, but is it the only thing that FM can do? Absolutely not. And then it struggles to justify its importance. So, you know, it goes on. And that's the kind of, I think, the perception piece that we need as a profession, you know, across the world need to, you know, to work together to educate, you know, what FM is and what it can be. So we've already, you know, the earlier speakers talked about the definitions of FM. There's several there. Obviously, we've got the ISO definition, IFMA's definition, and the EuroFM definition. They're kind of different, but in effect, they're the kind of same. They all talk about integrating people, place, and process. You know, that's been, you know, part of FM since it started. 40, 50 years ago. That's a, you know, a fundamental part of, you know, what it does. But it also focuses on the built environment. Obviously, there's a built environment function, but is it becoming more of a management discipline? So, you know, there's some kind of discussions there about actually, you know, what it is. And it also talks then about the primary activities. So it automatically relegates FM to being a secondary activity if you're not careful, which again, you know, as an FM professional, it annoys you somewhat. You know, you see that the job that you do is vitally important to keep a business, to keep an organisation going, and it shouldn't be seen as a secondary activity. I suppose, I mean, the key, you know, definer of definitions now is not, you know, what we think or what IFMA thinks or what EuroFM thinks. You know, everyone goes to Google now or other search engines, and if you type in what is facility management in Google, that's the definition that comes up. The maintenance of an organisation's buildings and equipment. You know, maintenance there is the first word they use. So, you know, we're here at an FM conference. It's always kind of interesting to look at other professions, you know, within organisations, you know, and the kind of perception that we have of them. You know, certainly I've got kind of personal frustrations with some of the, you know, marketing activity that goes on. You know, but the perception of you know, the marketing profession, if you're being not very charitable about it, it's the colouring in department. You know, they're very creative, but they're not really adding a huge amount of value if you're being cynical. You know, what do salespeople do? You know, they're seen sometimes as cowboys. It's not the truth, but that's the perception sometimes. Human resources, learning and development, what are they seeing? What value do they add to organisations? They're sometimes seen as blockers. They've got lots of rules, regulations that they need to follow, but they're seen as blockers. IT, bigger blockers potentially. So, you know, if we were, you know, transporting ourselves to a marketing conference, what would the marketeers in the room say about facilities managers? I think it's, you know, it's something to consider as we move forward. And what would they consider about, you know, workplace? I think it's something that we need to kind of consider and work together to kind of, you know, to bring the profession to life. So the Google definition of workplace, you know, obviously something that we've adopted as an organisation, but it already kind of softens it, if you like. It takes away the kind of focus on built environment. It brings the people to the forefront. Josh talked about the perception there of the customers of people. You know, and it just maybe softens it slightly. It softens it the kind of the focus on built environment, on maintenance, that kind of piece. So you could see the you know, the difference, if you like. One of the earliest, though, definitions of FM, which I don't think any longer kind of gets referred to, was Price back in the 1970s. And it talks about the design and management of workplaces and the impact on business conducted by the organisations that occupy them. There's probably a simpler way to say that, but again, it's talking about, you know, putting people first before the building itself. So, you know, the creation of and operation of amazing places to work, to enable people to do amazing work themselves. So it flips the equation somewhat. You've probably seen talks by a guy called Simon Sinek, one of the marketing kind of gurus, and he talks about the concept of the golden circle. So as organisations, do we understand, you know, why we exist? What's our purpose? Do we really understand why we exist? A lot of organisations talk about, you know, what they do. They talk about, you know, the products that they make, the services that they provide. If they're somewhat more marketing savvy, they talk about how they do it. They talk about that, but very few organisations actually talk about the purpose, why they exist, and why customers and stakeholders should buy into kind of what they do. So if you haven't kind of seen any of his stuff, it is worth having a look at. But I think for FM, it's kind of worth considering. What's our purpose as FM, as an FM profession? So we did a bit of research, you know, going into the name change, and we asked people the FM professionals, what is the role of FM? Is it to manage spaces where people work, or is it to enable people to work wherever they want to, and to, you know, enable them to work more effectively? And, you know, as you probably wouldn't be surprised, but there was a huge split there. You know, there's still a lot of people who still look at it as a very much a managing space. But there's an increasing number of people looking at how they can enable people to work. So in terms of, you know, what do we actually mean by workplace? It's kind of those three kind of overlapping, you know, pieces, if you like. Obviously, the bottom left-hand corner, the physical, the workspace, that's a kind of traditional kind of FM space that we kind of play in. But increasingly, we're looking at, you know, the cultural impact of, behaviours, culture, that kind of stuff, within organisations to become more productive. And also the third one is the technology piece. It's a massive trend in the market, which is, not just affecting FM, but affecting the way that we live, the way that organisations work. Obviously, we've got the traditional FM there, but how do we kind of link those three elements together? I think that's a crucial bit that we kind of need to understand. So to help kind of get us to some kind of understanding of that, we asked the FM professionals again about their kind of perception about which technologies are coming down the track the next 10 years, which are going to have the biggest impact on FM. So we gave them a kind of a list of FM technologies. You can debate, whether they should be categorized in that kind of way or not, but that's the kind of the way we did it. At the top there, you've got the kind of traditional, I suppose, FM type technologies that are already kind of in place. Your CAFM systems, BIM, that kind of thing. Down the bottom, you've got a lot more of the kind of the new stuff that's coming in, the autonomous vehicles, that kind of stuff. So we asked them their kind of perception of it. But as you can see, the top of the list, and bearing in mind the question was about, the future, the 5 to 10 year period, they were still talking about the stuff that's kind of in the market kind of already, whether they've adopted it or not. So it's kind of interesting that was the kind of perception. But also the fact that they weren't really seeing potentially, big impacts on their roles, the way that they do business, from stuff like big data. Big data's already we're already embracing big data within organisations. So that kind of perception about what's coming down the road was kind of interesting from a technology point of view. After that, we took the data and we looked at the way that the potential for automation of the facility management activities. There's a McKinsey model which you can kind of, grade according to 4 criteria. But it was interesting that the management kind of functions, were kind of less easy to automate. But some of the kind of more, some of the, sorry. So yes, as I said, some of the, the functions there, procurement, finance, compliance, there's, with the technologies coming down the track, there's huge potential to automate some of that stuff. So as an FM professional, what kind of, how are you thinking about kind of, integrating that, but also upskilling yourself to be employable in the future? But also, what was interesting was in the number of facility services functions, which again have got high automation potential, but the FM industry still sells them as kind of innovative solutions to organisations' problems. So again, help desk, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. It's huge kind of automation potential. So we just need to think about the way that that's perceived, the way that the output from that is, is presented to the market, if you like. I won't go into that. I mean, I suppose the challenge now with technology coming down the track is it's quite disruptive in terms of business models. Blockbuster, Kodak, they didn't see Netflix, Instagram coming down the track. It's something that we need to be aware of, not just as facilities companies, but FM professionals as well. That kind of being able to predict what's coming down the track, and that's why it's so important, I think, for this kind of networking activity. To share ideas, to kind of share views, and to actually do something about it. So I suppose, just to summarise, I mean, please, let's try and think as a profession, what is our why? Why do we exist? What's our purpose? And really kind of try and elevate that to people outside of the sector who are influenced by what we do. But we need to find ways to kind of, I suppose, show the way that we create value, not just be seen as a cost centre. Sorry. Because if we go to the market and say this is what we do, we've already looked at the automation potential of that. There's other ways to do this in the future. This is how we do it, but again, there's some automation potential there as well. So it's understanding that kind of management intellectual capability is so important. So going back to the old initial definition of FM, do we need to kind of take a step back, kind of acknowledge that the guys back in the day were kind of they had some idea of actually what it was trying to achieve. So making sure that we're not going down the wrong track, going down a hole that people don't understand why we're doing it. And getting away from that negative kind of feedback loop. Let's make the FM profession in the future a great profession that people want to get involved with, that school children want to join, that we can talk about FM as being a great profession that they've got great opportunities to be involved with. But it's up to everyone to kind of do that as we move forward. So going away tomorrow, going back to work, let's all be the change together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil. Kıymetli konuşmacılarımıza, oturumuza katıldıkları ve bizlere bu bilgileri aktardıkları için çok teşekkür ediyorum. Emir Bey, söz sizde herhalde. Bu arada soru cevap alabilir miyiz der ama ben de biraz geciktiğim için yemek için bilmiyorum. Peki, teşekkürler.
Sayın moderatörümüzü ve konuşmacılarımıza teşekkür ediyoruz. Kendilerini sahnede bir saniye daha bekleteceğiz. Ve EuroFM Avrupa Tesis Yönetimi Ağı Başkanı Sayın Goran Milanov'u da sahneye davet ediyorum. Ve kendilerine katılım sertifikalarını ve günün anlam ve önemine binaen plaketlerini takdim etmek üzere Ankara Üniversitesi Uygulamalı Bilimler Fakültesi Dekanı Sayın Profesör Doktor Harun Tanrıvermiş'i de sahneye davet ediyorum. Sayın katılımcılarımızı da sahneye alabiliriz. Konuşmacılarımıza teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi bir öğle aramız var. Bir üst katta, -1. katta Cozy Restoran'da öğle yemeği verilecek.